Hey YouTube, welcome back. This is Ace, RC Addict. Welcome back. I know a lot of you guys are waiting for me to put the second part of the video of the HSD 747 Air Force One livery back together. And we were halfway through filming that and then realized that in order to screw in the nacelles, you have to screw in through the nacelle. So we needed to order some very long Allen wrenches. They just came in. So we'll get right to that and put that video out immediately. But instead of waiting for that, I figure I'd give you guys a tour of my 106 plane hangar. 106 planes is what I have at the moment programmed to my IX-20. I only fly with Spectrum, just preference. 106 planes is what's programmed to the IX-20, but I believe my hangar itself is about 116 planes. Some are duplicates. Some are planes that I no longer have on the IX-20, but they're good planes, so I just didn't want to get rid of them. Some of these planes turn into classics, so the last thing I want to do is get of something that I might have a hard time getting a hold of later on. For the most part, I bought all these planes, with the exception of a handful that I got from Dad's RC Waffles. So shout out to Nate and James over at Dad's RC Waffles. The only thing better than getting home and seeing a nice big box in front of your house is getting a nice big box that you only probably put up 20, 30 bucks to get. So that's even better than buying a new plane. It's like when you actually get it for free or damn near. Other than that, let's show you the hangar. My space is 8,000 square foot. It's what we use for my company. Behind me is a 20-foot tandem trailer. That's my mobile hangar. That holds usually between 30 and 38 planes, depending on which planes I swap in and out. I usually try to fly all my planes 2 or 3 times and swap them all out, change different planes. My hangar is broken up into different sections. This is the main workshop, and I'll show you. There are a lot of planes up hanging from the walls, a bunch of the bigger planes. The trailer usually has 30 to 35 planes in it. The garage itself has probably another 40. Then the second floor, I think it has about another 25, 30. Then the remaining airplanes on my hangar are at home, and that's separated from the basement, the living room, depending on what plane I'm currently working on, and one of the spare bedrooms. So let's get to it. So the first plane on any hangar, which is actually not even on my IX-20 yet, is the granddaddy of them all, the HSD 747 Air Force One livery. See all the sections there, still haven't been assembled. Freewing F-14, the bigger model. I also have the small, I think this one is the Twin 70. It's currently being repaired right there. Luckily, it was just a hard landing. Snapped the little strut right there, already in stock. Just have to get around to it. This is the new Freewing F-22. I believe this is the 80 millimeter, and by far the best. I also have the 70 and multiple of the 90. Let me see what else is here. Let's go to right here. This is the xfly. I believe it's a Twin 40 F-14. These wings do sweep. And out of all the F-14s I have, and I believe I have them all, this is the most fun. And more importantly, the least stressful to fly. If I crash this one, it's not a big deal. Up next is the FMS Futura. The nose is in the trailer. I took this out of the trailer to make room in the trailer to clean up. The Hobbyking Toscano. Big bird. Flies like a butterfly. This just came out about a month or two ago. Those who were smart enough to snatch it up know how great this plane is, and the rest of those who are waiting for it to become back in stock, can't wait for you to get it. I know you're going to enjoy it. Great plane. Freewing F-22. This is one of three. This is probably the one I fly the most. The other one, I have another one upstairs. That's 8S. And FMS Cessna. From left to right. Freewing Corsair. Eflite T-28. xfly F-22. Nexa Twin Otter. Eflite Draco. These are also in the shop, but none of these are actually programmed to my IX-20 anymore. But that's a FMS Cessna 102, one of the 20 different types of the Eflite Timber. That's a little FMS. It actually flew pretty good. I don't know why I don't fly that much anymore. There's the version 1 of the Eflite Cessna. Great flying bird. This actually makes me want to buy the real one that's good at this thing flies. There's a Viper 70, which I no longer fly anymore because I got the new version, and then I got the Viper 90. I'm debating whether or not to get the 64. And that's the first EDF I ever flew, the Habu Eflite. That's definitely the best EDF trainer. In my office now, Eflite Carbon Cub. Flies really well. Motion RC B2. Behind it are the wings to my baby, my Hangar 9, which I'll show you outside in a second. And then twin engine Drake. Really great flyer. Really great flyer. Great plane. Under my workstation is the Motion RC Nexa P18 3 meter. This thing is massive. I have not made in it yet. Put it together during the winter. Hopefully making it in the next month or so. There's the Draco again. Right next to that, a true classic. Freewing 90 millimeter Yak. That one's 8S, and that is an amazing flying plane. Next to that, FMS F7F. Above that, I believe that's the FMS F18. Then there's a smaller version of an F18. I believe that one's 64 millimeter. Next to that is the Hobby Crabs SU-27, another great flying airplane. One of my many Freewing F-22s, that's 9 millimeter. Right below that, the amazing Eflite Citation Longitude. Next to that, something I had to pick up from overseas and get it shipped over here, Multiplex Twin Nova. And right below that, the Banana Hobbies Osprey. I got two of those, the white and gray. I had a problem with this one, but Banana Hobbies had Jeremy Solt call me directly, and we straightened it out. They sent me the parts for it. I've got no complaints with them. They did a great service to me getting that plane off the air. And this is the, I forgot, this is a T7A from, I want to say Banana Hobbies. Fast, really good plane. I have that one and the 64. I'll show you the 64 in a minute. And then we'll come over here and we'll discuss these. So anyway, that's Hangar 9. Cessna. I actually picked that up from a guy in South Florida, right? He lived 3 doors from the acting president, Mr. Trump. He lived about 4, 5 doors down from Mar-a-Lago. Bought it, never put it together, never flew it. Flew down, picked it up, drove it back home. One of the best planes I have in my hangar. It's a showstopper. Once you get to the field, that everyone wants to see that thing fly, and it does not let anyone down. And then there, I believe that's a twin 70, maybe a twin 80, Freewing 2. Uh, awesome bird, awesome bird. Throughout vectoring, of course. I've never flown it with vectoring. I'm still in the learning stage, so I don't get too crazy with them yet. I've only been flying about 3 years. Um, First year, most of the flying was with safe, not so much anymore, if at all. But I can do some loops, but I'm not yet there for thrust vectoring with this baby. But she flies really well. Next to that, pretty hard to see there, is also one of my best birds, Top Flight. Cessna, I think it's 310. Picked that up at the Toledo RC swap last year. Converted it from gas to electric. Huge wingspan with wing tanks. Man, it's another showstopper. I actually saw one of these at the Lebanon RC swap meet yesterday. Guy had it for 1,500, and I'm sure he sold it. That's an amazing, amazing looking bird in the air. Directly next to the Hangar 9 is an old classic, the Eflite F-16 Thunderbirds. I believe that's the 70 millimeter. Then I do have the newer version, or that may be the newer version. I believe that's the 70, that's the smaller one. Top Flight Cessna. Picked this up from Amir up in North Jersey. Great bird. Reliant Stinson. Pretty good flyer. Freewing. Grasshopper. We are now on the second floor of my shop. That's the Horizon Hobby Convergence. UMX Cirrus. UMX Aero Commander. These all fly really well. In here is the FMS 70 millimeter Yak. These things fly so good that I cannot see myself not having one in the hangar. So in the event I ever crash the two I currently have, I have a backup in red from FMS and in green from Motion RC. This is the Flywing helicopter with GPS. I've got two of them. I bought that one in case the other one, anything happens to the other one. My second Motion RC F-22. The one downstairs up in the ceiling, that is 8S. This is my airplane graveyard. Over here, Eflite A10. That plane, anyone that has this plane knows. That's no secret. That's one of the best flying airplanes on the market. I can land that on a dime. Freewing F4. I also have the Eflite F4. The backup, I got the replacement. This is a 227. That's a backup one there. Freewing F15. That is the Eflite Blue Angels. Extremely rare bird. A little difficult to fly, so every time I take it up and land it, I'm appreciative that it's still in one piece, and I want to keep it that way, so I fly every little bit of it. That's what happened to the original one I purchased, and that's why I value this one so much. Motion RC T45, Futura, backup for parts. I've since replaced this downstairs. FMS Super Scorpion. I paid big money for this because they were out of, they discontinued, and the moment I got it, they started making them again. Thanks a lot, FMS. great bird right there. This is FMS. Give me a minute and I'll think the name of it. Seawind. This was made from Eflite some time ago, and then they stopped making it, and then I forgot who makes it now, but I picked it up. It does fly really well. However, it's rare that I'm around water where I get to fly it. Another great plane. This is the Freewing PJ50. I've since brought it up here because I then bought the Banana Hobbies replacement for this one. It's downstairs. That is the exact. They say it's the exact identical plane. However, the replacement flies so much better. Or at least the Banana Hobbies version does. I believe it's called the J35. Another parts plane. Eflite Commander. Great flying plane. Eflite P51. Another Eflite gem. I've seen guys use this like a pattern plane, and it's an amazing bird. I do have the men that parachute out from the bottom, so that's usually fun to do at the field. I believe that's the box right there. That's the green Yak 70 millimeter. This here is a plane like no other. Those are the wings for it. A company called Aerodyne actually sells this plane, and it's a Beechcraft, and they commission a company to make flying models of it. I have everything for this, all the seats inside. It's actually ready to go. I got this from a fellow YouTube guy, the RC Jet Jock. Check out his channel. I got this off of him because he wanted to get rid of this to get into turbines. Unfortunately for me, the field that I'm nearby doesn't allow turbines, so foamies is as close as I'm going to get to that. But I was able to get this, and he shipped it out to me in a couple boxes from the Midwest. Not ready to fly this yet. He's got a bunch of videos of him working on it. I've since rehauled the whole thing. Everything in there is new now. But yeah, someday this thing will go up in the air, and I promised the RC Jet Jack that once it does, he'll get the maiden video. But the landing gear alone in this thing is second to none. This is as real to authentic landing gear as you can get. I mean, this thing is amazing. This entire plane is. I could do a video on this thing alone. But let's go downstairs and check out the mobile hangar. Almost forgot a few. Also upstairs, the V-22 Osprey, UMX Twin Otter, UMX A-10. All great flying airplane. Also upstairs in the box, the Avios King Twin 1700. I actually picked this up, I believe last Christmas. They had it on sale for like a little over $200, and I already have one. And this thing flies so good. Front land nose gear up front could be a little bit better, but if you flare it just right, this is a great flying in airplane. It looks amazing in the air. So it's this is actually the backup in case the other one happens to the original one that I have now. This is the mobile hangar, and just like my American Express card, never leave home without it. So when I pull up to the field, I take all of these with me, with the exception of any planes that I take out and swap out from time to time. But for the most part, these are the planes I take with me to the field whenever I do go. All right, guys, so this is the mobile hangar. That's looking at the back. I'm not really sure how many planes are in here now, but this is usually this is all the planes that I'll go to the field with on a daily basis whenever I do get to fly. So let's start from here. Down at the bottom, Eflite Su-30 discontinued. I believe it's a 170. Great bird. Love the way it flies. Freewing, Blue Angels. I believe 90 millimeter. Instant Classic, Viper 90 millimeter from Eflite. Um, any of the Eflites are amazing, amazing airplanes. 70 millimeter Freewing F-22, 90 millimeter Avanti, I also believe from Freewing. Classic, classic. Anybody that's ever flown one of these knows what an amazing airplane this is. 3S Icon 85 from Eflite, discontinued a long time ago, but anytime I come across one of those, I'm buying it. On the floor, Aerofoam 105 millimeter MB339. I'm realizing, you have E-Flight, Motion RC, and then once you get into the bigger planes, Aerofoam is in that category. And if the rest of their planes fly as good as this one, I see why. They're high end. But this thing is an amazing airplane. It's really big, but it flies like it's half the size. FMS F-16 flies really well, really fast. Flyfans Su-27. I want to say UMX, but it's not really a UMX, but of course a smaller Draco from E-Flight. FMS Futura. This thing, anybody can fly this thing. That's how good that thing flies. One of my best flying birds, and this thing flies with me every day. The 6-channel FMS Yak 70 millimeter. This thing is a rocket. The smaller, I believe this is the 64 millimeter T7A, also from Banana Hobbies, I believe. The 90 millimeter you saw earlier. This is what started it all for me, and this thing fly. This is the first thing I fly at the field and the last thing I fly at the field, the Aero Scout. It's what brought me back to the hobby. I flew plenty of times before, but always in the back in the days where everything was gas and glow sticks. You needed the tackle box and a starter and a battery. And then I don't even know how, I just happened to be on eBay one day and this popped up on one of the feeds and it was ready to fly for under 200. So I bought it, and I guess the little experience I had from before helped, but I took this off and landed it, and that was all. That was it for me. From there on in, of course, you see, not even 3.5 years later, I'm over at 100 planes. FMS Avanti, I believe it's 64, another little bottle rocket. The new Flyfans twin liner, the xfly. I'm sorry, xfly. Xfly has a couple of planes that they come out with in the last couple of months, and I've bought mostly all of them. And so far, every one of them have been a blast. I know some of the planes are upside down in here, which makes it harder to see, but from many trials and error, I realized this is the easiest way and the most safest way to get them all in the trailer and transport them from point A to point B, and them not falling all over the place. So as you can see, some hang on the wall that way, such as that and that. And some of these hang on a tray like this, and then they have elbows to stop them from falling out. There's some stuff up there in the wings up there in the tray, and there's a workstation, some charging stations. There's also a heater here, one of those little Chinese diesel heaters. That thing's amazing. Whoever invented that was a genius. Let me see what else we got here. I believe that's a twin 64 Freewing F-14. The smaller of the two that they sell. The version 2 of the 70 millimeter Viper orange. See that there? Right above that is a classic, and I mean a real classic. That's the E-Flight P39 Aero Cobra. That but every time I see one of these, I'm buying it. That's how good this plane is. It's an amazing bird. Right above that is the Eflite Beechcraft. Yeah, that amazing flying airplane, incredible, incredible. I can have that thing do all types of things. This is one of the planes that I felt the most comfortable with, and then got a whole lot more out of, using safe and doing loops and all that. Yeah, this airplane here gave me a lot of confidence and helped my growth a lot. P40B FMS. I paid a lot of money for that, and then they when it was discontinued, and then 5 months after I pretty much forced someone to sell me theirs, they started making them again. But if you can get that bird, that's an awesome flying bird. Little Eflite F14 right there. Now this thing here, I bought this some time ago, and I crashed it, and I just trashed the company. I believe this came from Banana Hobbies. But it was such a good looking bird, and I love the landing gear on it that I took it on the chin and bought another one, and I'm glad I did, because there was like a span of like a year between the day I crashed the first one. I didn't even get the maiden. I crashed it during the maiden, and I was just disgusted. But I'm glad I did go and get another one, because once I did go and get the second one, about a year's time had lapsed, and I got a whole lot better flying. And I realized that this actually flies a lot better. You just need a bit more experience, because it's pretty fast. xfly Twin 40 Su-57 Felon. Great plane. I have a lot of fun with these xflies. Twin 40s. They're just a blast. Discontinued Eflite F16. Great fast bird. Love flying that. Eflite Classic Cessna. Like I said, I actually have the version 1 over there that I showed you earlier. This is the newer version. I believe this one flies on 4S, so it's a lot more fun. Another classic. That's I try not to fly too much, because if something happens to this bird, I'll be crying. You don't find these anywhere. The Eflite Rare Bear, just 4S bottle rocket, to say the least. Once again, the little flyfans, 039. And this is by far the best bang for your buck. 6S, flaps, retract, lights, all for under $200. And it flies amazingly. Yeah, you can't go wrong with this. For $200, you cannot go wrong. 6S, retracts, everything. It has everything. Fully loaded. Hey, what's my pilot doing upside down? I have to figure that out. The new Freewing F16. I believe this is the 50th anniversary, 100th anniversary. I don't know what they call it, but not maiden yet. Put it together during the winter time. As soon as it came out, I bought it a couple months ago. Hasn't been warm enough to fly, and she's such a pretty bird with the flaps back here that open up on both sides. I can't wait to see how that works, but I want to make sure it's nice and warm before I take that out. On the wall, Motion RC AL39. Great flying bird. First 4 flights, I ended up yanking the front nose off. Finally got good enough to land it without a problem. Below that, I believe that's the FMS A10 Twin 70. I think the FMS was bigger than the Freewing, so that's the FMS. I got the bigger of the two. Below that, the Banana Hobbies J65. And like I told you when I was upstairs, this is the replacement to the PJ50. I know they say they're the same plane. I'd have to disagree. I really like the way this one flies. It's a little bit better, but it really is almost the same plane. 98% the same, but a little 2% makes a big difference. A really good plane. The FMS Fox 3-meter glider. Great flyer. Great flyer. I haven't flown it much because big plane to get someone to help launch. I do have one of those little launch cubbies. Speaking of which, I bought it up months ago. Don't have no idea where it's at, so I have to look for it, put it together, and hopefully I'll try to fly this off of that. All right, so that's it for the shop. Now we have to go home and take a video of all the planes we have there. I have no idea what count we are at. I stopped counting a long time ago, but I'm sure you guys will count them all, and we'll continue counting when we get back home. And we can't forget the little FMS Bayhawk, Bay Flyer. One last airplane in the mobile hangar, multiplex Learjet. What can I say about this plane? Not that expensive. I paid a lot of money for it because I believe it came from England or something. I bought this and the airplane that was outside up in the ceiling, the Twin Nova. I bought these together from a company, Multiplex. Um, at the moment, I don't think there's a U.S. shipper. Basement hangar. This is the Eflite 90mm F-16 Thunderbirds. Came out sometime last year. Above that are the wings for the Super Cub at the garage. This is the FMS ASW-17, the 2-meter glider. Right behind that is the Night Radian E-Flight glider, which has the control lighting for so that you can control the lights to change while you're in the air right from the radio. That is the Avios C-130. This is the wing for the hangar, no, top flight beach craft, no, the Cessna. And this one is the Cessna 310 with the drop tanks. I converted this from gas to electric. We made some little entrapment doors here so the batteries fit right there, and then it closes. Did that to both. That thing flies amazing. Down here you have the Banana Hobbies MiG-29. They haven't made this in quite some time. This is actually an older plane that's made with the lighter density foam. The airplane weighs almost nothing. Flies really well. A crappy landing gear, runs off on some strings, but it flies really well, but mainly because of it's so light. This is the Flywing FW, I think it's the FW 450. That's the one that I also have a replacement of it in the garage. It runs off of the GPS thing, which means it pretty much flies itself. This here is the F-15, and in the garage I have a replacement one of these. This is from Hobbycraft, the F-15, and then the other one that I have 2 or 3 of in the garage is the MiG-29. This is the E-Flight F4. I've ripped the landing gear off this a couple of times until I really got the hang of it. You really gotta know how to land this. That's the Freewing F-35. Great flyer. That is the E-Flight RV7. And then those are the wings for the some of the gliders. Over here is the charging station. So I can charge 20 batteries at one time. Battery bay, the majority of the batteries here. There are about 30 batteries that stay in the trailer fully charged at all times. These are all the UMX batteries, also Spectrum, as you can see. I fly Spectrum most of the time, mainly for security reasons. I had one of the cheaper batteries explode while I was standing next to it charging it, and then ever since then I gave all those batteries away, and I only use Spectrum in the house now. Safer that way for me. All right, now let's go upstairs and check out the other hangar in the house. I just forgot, I just got this in the mail. This is the Horizon Hobby UMX Citation Longitude. Great flying airplane. I already have 2 of these. This is just a backup in case I ever lose any one of those. These are discontinued. This is the Aerodyne Beechcraft Baron. Really beautiful plane. I spent months building this thing, just about done. I pretty much had to build the whole thing on this. Avios King Twin. I have one of these new in the box. You saw that already. The wings to the Nexa Piper P18. Up there you have the Arrows MiG-29. Twin 64 is definitely one of the best flying planes I have. This thing is amazing. And the Banana Hobbies Osprey White. The Coast Guard Library Edition one was in the garage already. So that's the ones for these, and there's only 2 more planes left. Although there was an additional plane in the garage I didn't take a picture of that I really wanted you guys to take a look at. It's the FlexJet Cypher FB31. It's a ducted. It's a plane with 4 ducted fans. It flies like it's a plane, but it hovers and all that. But it's an amazing airplane, and I wish I would have took a picture of it. xfly Twin 50 A10. Avios Sports Hawk 105 millimeter.